Tarps Off Sports.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tarps Off MMA. I'm your host, Chris Mancuso, joined as always by Jack Gotzel. Jack, what's up, dude?
Not much. We got some Nick Diaz stuff going on, so I'm excited.
Buddy. Hell yeah, man. When Nick Diaz name starts circulating, just like with Nate, trouble is brewing. You saw it at UFC 261, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal 2. They show Jake Paul, the crowd, boo, fuck Jake Paul. They're chanting. It's hilarious. Next guy they show on the screen, Nick Diaz, crowd goes crazy. Dana White confirms after Nick Diaz is here looking for a fight. We got Nate coming against Leon Edwards next month. That's going to be awesome. Give me both when the Diaz brothers are in MMA, man, MMA is better every time.
Yeah, of course. And honestly, we start looking at who are Nick Diaz opponents possibly going to be. And obviously the first one, the most likely, is Chimaev. I mean, he's an undefeated wrestler. He's been drawn into Khabib a bunch, but he's not quite the fighter Khabib is. I don't think anyone thinks he is. And honestly, everyone's sleeping on Nick Diaz. We saw what he did the last time he went into the cage. I mean, that Anderson Silva fight, Anderson Silva tested positive for steroids. Before that, Nick Diaz was on one hell of a run other than George St. Pierre. And I think he had one other loss in there. But Nick Diaz is a top-class fighter. I think he'll come back a top-class fighter. I could see him honestly winning the welterweight division, even with Usman in there. I think that's a fight we could see down the road if Nick Diaz does decide to come back. I'm not sleeping on Nick Diaz one bit. I think he dusts Chimaev. I think he dusts Masvidal if that's the case, because that's another guy that he potentially could fight. I know you as a Canadian, you want to see the GSP fight there. I don't think that one gets run back. I think GSP would have everything to lose in that one. I can't see him signing on the dotted line unless it's big bucks. But honestly, Nick Diaz is a contender again in the welterweight division. Jack said it first. Sorry, Mike.
Well, yeah. Well, you got. I love that. I love Mike said it first. Shout out to him. You would have that would be interesting because Nate. What if Nate beats Leon Edwards? He's going to be thinking he's in the running for that welterweight title too. It'll be interesting to see the Diaz brothers back in the mix of things in the UFC regardless. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about a matchup with Jorge Masvidal. That I think is the best matchup for Nick to come into first. Unlike you, I'm not going to, and I love Diaz. I'm team Diaz for life for sure. But Chimaev is a bad fucking dude. This is a guy who has nine fights. He's won 6 by KO, 3 by submission. He finishes fights. He's never even been brought into a third round before. Listen, Nick Diaz is a different animal than the guys he's fought. You look down the line and there's some names there that aren't terrible, in like Phillips and
but who's Masvidal beat?
No, that's what I'm saying, right? So, okay, no, I'm just talking about Chimaev, right? So, okay,
yes,
Chimaev, he's a wrestler, he's a strong guy, whatever. I think the best fight for Nick Diaz to take coming back is to avenge Nate Diaz's loss to Jorge Masvidal. And you know what, Jack?
Too easy. Masvidal got hyped into that title fight because of his fan base, because of all the casuals. Masvidal is not actually that great of a fighter. He's not a top 5 fighter. He's not in that elite class. He got put in there because of the fans, and he got smashed. And that was the fans' fault that he got even into that fight. He never deserved that immediate rematch. I think Nick, that's the easiest fight Nick could take. Nick is not a guy that wants an easy fight.
No, I don't think so either. But I mean, listen, after what happened between him and Nate, the bad motherfucker belt, that would have to be on the line. He said, listen, if someone beat my little brother, I would want to do it too. Run it back. Here's the thing. I respect Masvidal for doing that, because if Nick Diaz comes out, and I love Nick Diaz, but the guy hasn't fought since 2015. That is 6 years ago.
You
if
know
Nick
how
Diaz
he comes
out, I listen, I understand. So if he comes out and beats Jorge Masvidal, in my my opinion, his job in the UFC is in jeopardy.
I think Nick Diaz would easily beat Jorge Masvidal. I don't care the time off. Nick Diaz trains like a motherfucker. Like, he is the bad motherfucker. And Jorge Masvidal is just blown up by the casual fans that think he's untouchable because he beat Nick Diaz. I mean, Nate Diaz, Nick's brother. Like, that's the whole reason Jorge's blown up. Like,
well, that finish against Ben Askren was vicious too, right?
Okay, so he knocked out a grappler with a lucky knee. Like, I mean, Masvidal has no stock. It's all the fans pushing it. Like, anyone that like really watches MMA, you can't be too impressed with Jorge Masvidal. He's just not impressive.
Jack's commentary is brought to you by Colby Covington Incorporated.
No.
Street Judas, eh, Jack? You're giving him the
honestly, Jorge Masvidal just really isn't that impressive, and I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I said that Usman would smack him in the second round and we'd have a second round knockout. I put my money where my mouth was, and I made a good amount of money off of Usman knocking him out in the second round.
No, I know. It was I knew that wasn't going to be much of a fight. Whoever Nick Diaz gets pinned up against and paired with, it's going to be a tough fight for whoever he's fighting. You're right. He's not going to take the easy fight. So I think it will end up being Chimaev. Chimaev's talked shit before too, which if you talk shit to a Diaz, you're usually going to hear about it. So I think that's the fight. I'm with you. I think that's the fight that gets made. If I'm Nick and I want to shake off a little cage rest, though, I go and avenge my brother's loss, take that bad motherfucker belt into a fight against Chimaev and let him know that the Diaz brothers are back. Regardless, guys, you love to see it. If you love to see it too, pop a comment. Let us know who Nick Diaz should fight next in the comment section below. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell. Tarps Off MMA. Nick Diaz is back. Nate Diaz next month. It's 2009 all over again, and I couldn't be any happier, man. Let's go.